Dictated by
who out of those four's getting left out? Saka, Palmer, Foden, Bellingham, because they all can't play.
Saka
Kane as well.
Saka.
Kane plays up top. I mean,
Saka speaks for himself.
Kane's going to play up top, or one of the other strikers, and then you've got. No, what I'm saying is one of those four is not going to play up top, are they?
Right. Okay.
So you're going to end up with four behind, basically a striker of some kind, whether that's Watkins or.
Palmer has to play now. He has to play.
So if Palmer has to play,
in my opinion.
Oh, he's a brilliant player, but is it weird saying that someone has to play for?
Yeah, but I just think his confidence is. You see what you could see, and I think he looks like, I don't know him personally, but he looks like someone who.
Oh, you'd have the confidence
with that pressure.
He's got a swagger, hasn't he?
He just doesn't.
We'll get back to Kino and Rooney and the gang in just a quick second, but remember, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification button so that you know when the next Big D video hits. And also, if you've got something to say, if there's something burning up inside of you that you need to express, please express it in the comments. Even if you think I'm talking rubbish, please put it there. I read all of the comments. Now, in this video, this is a slight departure from my usual content because I can't talk about Man United all the time. And when I don't talk about Man United, we're going to talk a little bit about England. Oh, it's out of the frying pan and into the fire. Now, in this clip, I mean, they're talking about usual. It just feels as though history's repeating itself with England. You know, England have got all these great midfielders and they don't know how to put them into a system. Anyway, they're talking about Foden, they're talking about Palmer, they're talking about Bellingham, and they're talking about Saka, and who should play and who should get dropped and all of that good stuff. But anyway, stick around after the clip because I am going to be expressing a few things off my chest about this ridiculous, spoiled for choice England team. Anyway, here's the gang.
We were all watching England in the summer, and we were at the time thinking about, you know, getting in the Bellingham, Palmer, Foden. Foden's come out this morning and said, coming off last season, being the best player in the Premier League and playing centre midfield, I do feel the position was quite difficult to get used to. I'm the one who can play multiple positions, so I had to try to deal with it best as I could. I don't feel England ever got going or performed to our potential. He's talking about playing on the left and being shoved on the left wing. I mean, you were obviously at times pushed on the left. Scholes, was pushed on the left wing. The other players have been pushed out of position. What do you make of that? Phil Foden coming out now saying that he felt that they couldn't influence the game as much.
I'd look at it a way where if I could play on the left, I was comfortable playing on the left, but I hate to play on the right. So I think I agree with him in terms of being left-footed, it's harder coming inside, which when I was right-footed playing off the right, I used to hate it. So I think I can half see it, but I think now the game's so much different. There's that much rotation. In possession, he was never stuck on the left. He was never stuck out wide. He was coming inside, and you had him. If anything, he had too many players. He had himself, Jude, Harry dropping in, so they were actually clogging it up a little bit. So I don't know. Sometimes you've got to just move on from it. But I agree with playing. If he's asked to get the ball, stay out wide, get crossing the box, he can happily do that. But it is a lot harder.
Did he start every game? Did he start every game?
Yeah, he was.
He's always on the left, wasn't he?
We needed something. We didn't get much. You know, I know he did in his season where he...
Well, Saka was on the right, wasn't he?
Yeah, Saka's doing his start, but at the same, what I'm saying is that you needed more.
How many debates do we have about that?
I know.
Saka.
Well, you think you've got Saka, Palmer, you've got Bellingham and Foden, you've got to try and get into a team, and he's saying he doesn't want to be playing out on the left, or didn't feel he could have the maximum influence on the left.
Yeah.
Well, that was the most negativity Garrett had, didn't he, in any tournament, really, about Saka, where Bellingham, he's trying to squeeze everybody in. So it took its toll on Gareth, didn't it? Even though they obviously ended up getting to the final.
What does Tuchel do now then? If you think about it, you've got those four players, you've got
That's
Kane.
what you seen Lee Carsley try it, didn't you? He played them all.
Yeah.
And
didn't work.
Completely backfired. So you need that balance still to the team, and that's the job of the man.
Yeah, but in football mad, when obviously Lee done it, England missed a couple of great chances, if you remember. And just say they got two up in that game. And remember, great chances. Who put one over the bar from a few yards?
Was it one?
Palmer. Was it Palmer missed this?
Or was it?
Just say they won that two. Just say they won that at the start.
Yeah.
You're going, hey, that's the way to go. So you are dictated by
Who out
of
those four's getting left out? Saka, Palmer, Foden, Bellingham, because they all can't play.
Saka.
Kane as well.
Yeah.
Saka.
Harry Kane.
So Kane plays up
Blind
top.
animal.
I mean,
Saka speaks for himself.
Kane's going to play up top, or one of the other strikers,
Right.
and then you've got...
Right.
No, what I'm saying is, one of those four is not going to play up top, are they?
Right, okay.
So you're going to end up with four behind, basically a striker of some kind, whether that's Watkins or...
Palmer has to play now. He has to play,
So if Palmer has to play...
in my opinion.
Oh, he's a brilliant player, but is it weird saying that someone has to play for? Like,
Yeah, but I just think
why is it?
his confidence
Oh.
is... You see what you could see, and I think he looks like... I don't know him personally, but he looks like someone who,
Oh, you'd have the confidence.
with that pressure,
he's got a swagger in him.
like, he
Yeah.
just doesn't...
And Bellingham's going to play, isn't he? He has to play, doesn't he?
Jude will play, yeah.
I'd want Foden in central though, but I think what doesn't go for him at England, I think you hit the nail on the head, is there's too many players in there,
Yeah.
and he's used to such structure at Manchester City. He has his own space to play in, but for me, he's one of the best number 10s.
But you know what the good thing about being
I love
international
him.
football, you have to adapt from your club stuff, because everyone
Yeah.
says, well, you do it, yeah, but you're not at your club. You
It's
have to find
difficult
a way.
though, isn't
Yeah,
it, when you do
absolutely.
it every
You see the way
single
course.
week.
Most teams now, they're playing with a front five, and the wide man becomes a number 10. So you're only out wide defending. So you're defending out from a wide position. But in possession, you're actually playing as a number 10. So it's not as structured as it was, where you had Becks outside you and Giggsy was on the left, whatever, and the staying there out wide.
But isn't part of being a top sports person or player is to be, you have to adapt sometimes.
Yeah.
We've all played in different positions.
Who are
All of
leaving
us.
out?
At the moment.
Yeah, well, out of those
Are we
four...
going to England form now?
I think
Because, like, again,
yeah,
you look at
think
Phil's
Foden would
form
be
for
under
England.
pressure, 'cause
he
he's
would
not-
probably be
Who
under
are you
would be under
playing left
pressure.
wing? Who are you playing left wing? Gordon?
Probably, with
yeah.
the pace and everything.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you look at
Still
Foden and the way he's
hang on,
played
let me-
recently for England. It's interesting that he's coming out at this stage
Yeah.
and saying that. That's what I think. You know, he's talking about it now, but like for England, we're not seeing enough moments.
But what does Tuchel do? Because he's got... I mean, if you're playing for Gordon, by the way, you've got to leave two of them out, that I've said.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Foden would
plays
be
a-
under
he
pressure.
plays a back
I
three,
think so,
or
yeah.
back five.
Probably Palmer as well.
Yeah.
He couldn't play in wing-backs, though.
If you're talking about them four, so if
the
you
stats weren't great, were they?
No. They
Foden's
weren't. If
stats
you're
weren't
talking
great.
Saka,
Saka,
Bellingham, Foden
Palmer.
and Palmer, you're probably going to be Foden and Palmer to be probably under pressure in that instance. When you look at what them two have done for England up to this point, I think it probably...
Because Saka and Bellingham have done better for
I
England.
think that's the only thing you can judge it on, the pure facts of what they've done.
I'm imagining Tuchel's going to play a diamond, a 5-4-1. That's what he normally does now.
So basically...
So he might actually it might fall in for them players to all be in that.
See, what is this obsession that England have got that they have to shoe on every single good player that they've got into a team, even if they don't suit the team? See, Roy Keane hits the nail on the head. He keeps it simple. Football is not a complicated sport. It's a simple sport. You pick a system, you put the best players that you can in each individual position that suits the system, because the system and the style is the overall ideal, and you need to fit the players into that. And if someone doesn't fit into that, then you put them on the bench and they're good to come off the bench. But Roy Keane's right. Why does everyone have to play? Why is someone undroppable? Do you know what I mean? And anyway, this reminds me of back in the day, back in the golden generation, when we had Beckham, we had Gerrard, we had Lampard, we had Scholes, we had Joe Cole, we had all those guys. And Sven-Göran Eriksson, God rest his soul, R.I.P. He tried to shoehorn everyone in, and they always got found out against the bigger sides because they were always more tactically astute, and they had the balls to drop a player so long as it suited the style and the system. Because the style and the system is paramount. And that ultimately was Sven-Göran Eriksson's undoing in some of those tournaments. Anyway, it seems like the same thing's happening again. I mean, why do we have to shoehorn Saka, Palmer, Foden and Bellingham into the same team? You know, clearly, there's too many of those players there who play in a similar kind of style. I mean, Bellingham plays as a number 10 at times. Foden plays as a number 10. Palmer plays as a number 10. So there's 3 number 10s there and 1 winger. You know, so why is Foden getting put on the left wing when that's not necessarily his position? I mean, yeah, Saka's done all right for England, but they play him in his proper position, so it's natural that he's going to do well for England if he's playing in his proper position. But I feel sorry for Foden, because he seems to be the modern day Paul Scholes, because Paul Scholes was the most tactically astute player out of that golden generation, arguably, but they ended up putting him out of position, so he couldn't get the best out of arguably your best midfielder. So, I mean, why can't we just learn from mistakes? And see, this is the problem when you hire weak managers. Like Gareth Southgate, he's not a big team manager. So as soon as England became a big team, once they promoted all these great players, and England have got a world-class team now, make no mistake, right? They should have won the last two tournaments. Had they had a big-name manager, more tactically astute manager than Gareth Southgate that was attacking, would have won the last two Euros. But sacrifices needed to be made. Alex Ferguson used to make sacrifices all the time. He didn't care about dropping anyone, so long as it suited the team. But England are just obsessed with trying to shoehorn in the biggest and the best players, and it does my head in. But, they were talking about Saka, Palmer, Foden, Bellingham. How do you fit them all in, and who do you pick and who do you drop? Well, what's this obsession with Saka and Palmer? Yeah, fine, the good players, fair enough. And I'm not saying they can't go on and become great players, but they haven't done anything compared to Foden and Bellingham. Bellingham won the Champions League with Real Madrid, and he was the main man for Real Madrid as a 20-year-old. So naturally, you've got to build the team around him, right? Foden, he's won everything with Man City, and he's arguably their best player, certainly one of them. So why aren't they putting Bellingham through the middle and having Foden as the inside forward, where from the right side cutting in? Because he clearly can't do it on the left side, and drop Saka and Palmer and then use them sparingly as super subs. Why not? Oh, because very seldom have I seen an England team that's been balanced, that's been tactically astute and balanced. So you need to have a left-sided player on the left, a right-sided player on the right. You need to have a number 10, two holding midfielders, assuming you're playing 4-2-3-1, of course, and a striker up top. It's not hard. It's not a Rubik's Cube, It's football and tactics. It's just 1 + 1 = 2. Honestly. So anyway, I suppose I'm going to have to give my England 11. Well, Pickford, obviously. 4 at the back. If we're going with 4 at the back, so it's got to be. We've got to have Trent on the right, I suppose. And then you've got to have Johnny Stones, he's good. Gué, he's been playing well. And then, well, who is there to play at left back? Because Luke Shaw's always injured. Not sure about left back, to be perfectly honest. I'm out of touch with the English left backs. I'm out of touch with left backs completely, because Man United are wanting for left backs, so I haven't really been sort of concentrating on England. Anyway, 2 central midfielders. Well, Declan Rice, fine, as the holding midfielder. Normally, I would say Kobbie Mainoo. I mean, he's been out of form with United, but everyone at United has been out of form. But normally, I would stick Kobbie Mainoo in there. I wouldn't put Jude Bellingham as a number 8, because I'd want him attacking. I'd put Jude Bellingham as the number 10, and then Foden on the right and Anthony Gordon on the left with Harry Kane up top. And then, if Jude Bellingham gets tired, bring on Cole Palmer. If Foden gets tired, bring on Saka. What's wrong with that? And then you can have Sancho on the bench, and he can come on for Anthony Gordon. It's easy. It's seamless. It's a squad game. Just because we're not starting Palmer or Saka doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to get a game. Because Foden could get injured, and then it's a swap like for like. But everyone needs to try and fit everyone in, and all of this, and who knows what's going to happen with Tommy Tuchel. I mean, is he man enough to be able to drop a big name, or is he going to fall into the trap of playing it safe? But playing it safe never wins tournaments. playing it smart. And sometimes, well, most of the time, playing it smart is making the unpopular decision and dropping someone. And hey, look, my choice is to play Bellingham and Foden, but you don't have to. The point I'm making is just pick players that suits the system, and assuming it's 4-2-3-1, fine, have Palmer instead of Bellingham if he's out of form, whatever. Or have Saka over Foden, fine, because Man City have been crap. So, but the point is, it will be refreshing if Tommy Tuchel comes in and plays a tactically astute team that doesn't rely on big names, and he picks the players that suit the system, and he doesn't play anyone out of position. And then everyone knows what they're doing then, and then, you know, they can move forward productively. But hey-ho, that's what the Big D thinks about England. I don't know when I'm going to be doing another England video. I'm sure I'll do one at some point. But yeah, what do you guys think? What do you England fans think about what I've just said there? Am I talking nonsense? Or do you want to see a tactically astute manager take charge of England? What about you people who are not from England, who don't support England, who are from Europe, who are from America, or wherever you're watching? What are your thoughts on the England national team? Why do you think we're not doing well? Are we overhyped? Now, that could be the problem. But either way, whatever it is you're thinking, if you've come this far in my video, I really appreciate it. And I want to know what you have got to say. So please, thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.